would like to give you a quick tip on how to reduce line twist whenever you are using monofilament or fluorocarbon on a spinning reel. We've all had fluorocarbon or monofilament. As soon as we open that bail, just pile off there and you lose about 20 or 30 yards of your brand new line you just put on. Nothing more frustrating. I'll give you a little tip on how I do it, and it works great. I love using braid. Huge braid guy. I use braid anytime I'm holding that pole in my hand and I'm fishing visible stuff I can see, or brush piles or stake beds or lay downs in dirty, dingy water. But we will use fluorocarbon or good old monofilament when we are spider rigging, slow trolling, or in crystal clear water. So, number one tip I can give you for putting this on a spinning reel is the way it comes off of this spool. Everyone knows that, but so if you'll come back and watch this video over and over and over again, you'll finally get the hit. It took me forever. It took me years to figure out. Sometimes people hold it like this, and people hold it like this, set upside down. I use a very simple holder, canister, container. This is a line container. Buy this very, very inexpensive anywhere. This one's been around a while. Been in my boat. Just something that holds the line, right? You can I keep my line in the boat in this thing. I close it up, store it. But more importantly, I use this to spool my line up. I actually set it in here so I don't have to have someone else hold the line for me. And let me give you, right here is the tip. This is the tip if you're putting monofilament or fluorocarbon on a spinning reel, is the way this comes off. When you're spooling that on the line, I'm gonna get close here. Make sure you come off the bottom of the spool just like that. If you will do that, I will guarantee you that'll reduce line twist in your spinning reels. You do not want to come off the top like this. That's the top. Never do that. Spinning reel, come off the bottom. And that's what's cool about this canister. You just set it in there. You don't have to have two people, and you just pull it off just like that. Make sure it's coming off the bottom. This will help reduce line twist. That simple thing. If you can remember that, fluorocarbon, monofilament on a spinning reel. This is 7-footer here. We're going to use this to cast with here in a couple months on the creek channels and bring those jigs down the side. Come off the bottom. Come off the bottom of that thing just like that. It'll help reduce line twist. Complete opposite. A lot of guys like bait cast reels. Complete opposite of that. For a bait cast reel, a lot of guys use bait cast reels trolling crankbaits. A lot of guys use them to spider rig with. Complete opposite. Come off the top. Put it in a container or canister and come off the top. When using a bait cast type reel, that will reduce line twist as well. Right there, pretty simplistic way to do it. So, another tip when I'm putting on line. I'm sure a lot of people do this, no matter what, whether I'm using a bait caster, a spinning reel, or a little bitty mini reel that I like to jig with. Every reel, I put cheap, very inexpensive monofilament halfway up on that thing. I never use the real expensive stuff and strip this all the way down. This bait cast reel right here is probably, I don't know, 8 years old. That line has never came off there. And what that does is, one, you can use less line, saves you money. And when I get down to the knot, I just tie a simple overhand knot right here to this thing and just spool on brand new line. When I get down low enough, I know it's time to change line. So that's a little tip. If you guys haven't been doing that, you also, on a spinning reel and on these mini bitty bait cast reels that I'm using to jig with, you want monofilament on their backer so when you set the hook it doesn't spin. If you put braid directly on the spool, it'll have a tendency just to turn on the whole entire spool because it's so slick. So use a monofilament backer no matter what you're doing, and you don't have to use the high-end, very expensive, I mean, this fluorocarbon's outrageous. This is really outrageously expensive. I never just put all this on. I use 30 or 40 yards of this on my little bitty reels that I use. So there's a couple tips for you. Hopefully someone learned something here today. Remember, spinning reel always come off the bottom of the spool. And that's where this container, I mean, it's so simple. just like that. This will help reduce those crazy open the bail and the line fly out at you. If you're a bait cast guy, simply turn it over. There you go, guys. Hopefully this helped a couple of you learn how to keep a line twist out of your lines. Good fishing.